Unlocking my door.
All right, here we go. We got Officer Mason, Officer Cox, Officer Boza, Hamilton, and McNatt. My 5 adults. Set this up. All right. All right, good evening, gentlemen. This will be a speech, a persuasive speech. I'm trying to persuade you all on the death penalty. That's the topic of this speech, the death penalty, and why I'm against it. I'm trying to get you guys to be against it also. Honestly, I was for it at first until I started researching, and now I'm against it. But I'll be hitting on 3 main topics. My topics will be cost, effectiveness, violation of the Constitution, and religious reasons. We're going to open up with a story. Imagine this. Imagine you're laying on a gurney. Imagine you're laying on a gurney, strapped there, waiting to die. The warden, the priest, everybody has told you that this is going to be a painless experience for you. You're going to just go to sleep and die. Okay? Imagine that the process starts and something is wrong. You realize something is wrong, but you can't do anything about it. You're foaming at the mouth. You're in excruciating pain. There's absolutely nothing you can do. So you're struggling, you're straining, you're trying to get off the gurney. Nothing happens. You just have to lay there and take this hanging out of your pain until you pass away. According to CNN, this is exactly what happened to Clayton Lockett. Clayton Lockett was executed on April 29th. Of course, he committed some horrible crimes, but does anybody deserve to go through cruel and unusual punishment? And my first topic is the cost and effectiveness of the death penalty. The cost, the death penalty is extremely high cost. Most people don't realize that. Most people think, well, we're killing them, we're getting rid of them, so it's going to be okay. But the legal fees, the attorney fees, the time, to house an inmate on death row, it's nearly $90,000 more expensive per year than it is to just keep them in prison for life. Matter of fact, the exact figures, I believe, it's nearly cost $100,000 a year to keep somebody on death row, versus roughly $25,000 to keep them incarcerated for life per year. That breaks down into around $73 a day to keep somebody in prison for life versus $275 a day to keep them on death row. Like I said, that's because of the extra manpower you're going to need, solitary confinement, and all the legal fees that go along with being on death row. My next thing, is it effective? Just because you commit a horrible crime, is that deterring crime? Is the death penalty a deterrence to crime? Criminals don't think about that. They don't think, hey, if I rape and murder this girl, I might get the death penalty. That never crosses their mind. So it's not effective in deterring crime. So it's a high cost, a waste of taxpayer dollars for nothing. Next thing, like I was saying, it's a violation of the Constitution. The 8th Amendment goes against cruel and unusual punishment. What's not cruel and unusual about dying, about killing somebody? And basically, that's what we're doing. We're killing people just because of the crime they committed. Like I said, no matter how horrible the crime, nobody deserves to be killed by society, especially by us. We're supposed to be an established society, a good example, role model for the world. And here we are killing people. My next point that I like to make, it's against religious reasons. The United States is made up of, I think the last figures in 2012 were approximately 73% Christian religion. Everybody knows which commandment that the death penalty obviously violates. Thou shalt not kill. It doesn't say thou shalt not kill unless they kill first or something. It says thou shalt not kill, which means by killing we are going against God's word. Straight out, flat out, no way around it. Point blank, period. By killing, we're going against God's word. So it's hard to believe that a country that's 73% Christian and profess to believe in God and His word can agree with killing somebody because of the crime they committed. Just to kind of recap, the death penalty is just terrible all around. It's not cost effective. It violates our Constitution and also violates the majority of the religion of this country. So in closing, there are several other alternatives to this. Like I said, we can do life imprisonment. It's much cheaper. We can focus more on restorative programs. we can take that money, that $100,000 a year that it costs to keep somebody on death row. We can hire, 2 extra police officers, or we can hire more EMT people or nurses or anybody that makes the community better and actually does deter crime in a positive way. So, in closing, the death penalty is not the answer. Killing somebody because of something they did is not right today, and it won't be right tomorrow. Thank you. Again, my audience has grown. All righty.